What do you do for a living?
Embrace Islam, and you will see people will embrace you.
How did you get this car?
Well, I have to thank my generous followers for it who paid with their zakat.
Alex Gillingham is a fraud. You've probably seen him on most Muslim podcasts, YouTube channels and charity fundraisers, but despite his sudden planetary success, he lures Muslims into funding his extravagant lifestyle with their zakat. He sells overpriced merchandise and a religious online course while having no qualifications in Islamic jurisprudence or theology.
We're not accusing you of being illegal, we're accusing you of being immoral.
People have been defending him for months until he got caught drinking in a pub. While some Muslim celebrities have previously used religion and fame to misuse people's money, Alex is a stereotype, a fictional caricature.
I overshot the...
Yeah, you went too far, mate.
Sadly, he is based on many real-life Muslim converts who follow a similar path, using religion for making money, for taking your money. This is a video I make out of love because I don't want you to fall into traps. I want you to protect your time and your money. There is a problem with some white Muslim revert influencers. There are a lot of white Muslim reverts popular on social media, and many of them are very well intentioned and actually contribute positively to the world and the society. And by influencer, I mean someone who promotes products or services in exchange of money or benefits. Someone who literally influences purchase decisions. Here I'm talking about those who monetize their conversion to Islam, who turn Islam into a brand for the purpose of acquiring your money. So how do we spot these professional reverts? First of all, they grow a massive following in a very short time after publicizing their shahada on social media. Many of them, a few days after their shahada, start traveling, all expenses paid, to some Islamic countries, and specifically Egypt, Turkey, Saudi Arabia, and Pakistan.
I've been offered the free Umrah, official visits to Turkey. I'm on a sponsored trip to Dubai on first-class Emirates, and the craziest of all, I am meeting the Prime Minister of Pakistan tomorrow.
And sometimes with security escort, meeting government officials and having access to places which are off-limit to ordinary tourists. They never connect with their local community or their local mosque. During their travels, they never credit the people they meet. They treat them quite badly and sometimes just fetishize the culture. You've probably seen titles like, "Oh, travel for free in Pakistan," "I stayed in a village with no electricity," or they just dress up for fun. Some may or may not retain a Muslim lifestyle off camera, for example going to the pub still. Their email address in the contact section is very often the email address of a talent management agency. And finally, most importantly, they always have something to sell. Whether it is merchandise like sweatshirts, t-shirts, books, e-books, online courses. They write in their bio that they are openly seeking brand deals. They present themselves as experts in religion or conversion. They have no qualification but promise to change your life. They will ask their followers for money.
I took my shahada last week, and believe it or not, the response online has been nothing short of tremendous. People have been reaching out and asking me, well, what's your recipe for success? So I released an online course about how to become the perfect Muslim. It's £500, but because Islam is about generosity, there is a 50% discount at the moment for a limited period of time, of course.
Obviously, only God knows what's in the hearts, but in my book, it's never okay to deceive or exploit people, even if it's well-intentioned. There's two reasons I know what's happening behind the scenes. First of all, I've interviewed in person some of them because it is my real-life job as a researcher in sociology working at a university. That's literally what I'm paid for on a daily basis. But obviously, I won't reveal any names and any brands or organizations because I don't want to dignify these people. And second, since I'm quite well connected in my local community, let me tell you that the community has eyes and ears everywhere. And with all the racism and anti-Muslim acts since 9/11, people are very, very cautious. People have had enough to be exploited, to be surveilled, monitored, or exploited as a niche market. Because we've seen, and I've met in person, Muslims who work with government agencies to influence Muslims with the government agenda. And the easiest way to control people, if you cannot destroy them or get rid of them, is to appeal to their wallet. You just turn 1.9 billion of believers into 1.9 billion of consumers. So this revert charges $500 per hour for a one-to-one conversation, for helping people on the path to Islam. They claim that they are currently training in mental health but have no current qualification. Let me tell you this, qualified psychologists charge around £120 per hour, that's $150. So if you need to talk to someone, go and see someone qualified. It's cheaper and experience is going to change your life. And if all you have for some reason is poor me and this little video, then you can have advice for free. Why would I charge you? And I'm always happy to help because I remember that me too, I was once in a similar position. And if I can't help because I don't have all knowledge, all expertise, I can redirect you to some knowledgeable people and experienced organizations. As my friend Yasmin said, to paraphrase her, knowledge is a human right. And these professional influencers, the problem is they obscure the work of actual reverts who have been doing support work for the past 10 or 20 years, and sometimes for free and without any recognition. And I will publish interviews I had with them because they deserve to be known and recognized. But for influencers, it's all about money. And I'm going to be transparent. On this channel, I have a few videos that have blown up, and I've got brands like news outlets, apps for around education and stuff, who ask me to be sponsored. But you know what? I always refuse sponsorships because I don't use their products, I don't use their services, and I would accept a sponsorship even only if it will benefit me and my viewers. I don't promote things for the sake of promoting. I already have a job, I already earn my money. But sometimes, and this is my weakness, I ask myself, are we stupid for not monetizing our conversion to Islam? Because I would really like to go on Umrah or on Hajj, and the same for my friends like Matt, Tony, Emily, Jade, Dawood, and everyone. And we're in a situation where we can barely afford these kind of things. Who would not like an Umrah or a Hajj, all expenses paid? So you tell me, are we stupid for sticking to our moral compass and saying that we are not going to turn Islam into a brand or monetize our conversion? Or should we do it because everyone else is doing it? I was talking about psychologists earlier. Sociologists are kind of the same, but for the whole society. We diagnose things, problems, we analyze what people do, and we try to come up with solutions. And to be fair, the very few influencers I have observed, well, these are people in pain. Some of them are very isolated. Some others have been rejected by the wider Muslim communities. So when we see them becoming experts in Islam or using their Muslimness as a marketing argument, these are all coping mechanisms for them to relieve their pain, for them to rebuild their self-esteem. This is why some may have a delusion of grandeur, which is, if you read psychology articles, it is rooted in attachment problems. But this is not a diagnostic. I'll let you read the literature. And I'm not excusing their behavior. It's never okay to exploit people, but it's important to understand why it happens. When people have no face-to-face support or community or mentoring, they will overcompensate very often in these harmful ways. What can we do? People's ego, I always say, is like capitalism. They need to be constantly fed for them to sustain. And in capitalism, just like we can vote with our wallets, you're probably familiar with the concept of boycott, then we can do the same with the algorithm, because each like, each follow, subscribe is a bit of validation we give to these people, that it's okay to behave like this. It's a little bit of power that we give them. So as a joke, sometimes I say, don't subscribe to this channel because I actually don't make money from YouTube. I don't need the algorithm to be favorable to me. I have a real life job and I do just these videos on the side because I believe this is my duty to share knowledge. And what I wish deep inside is that these people realize the power they have and use this power for good, that they realize that they don't need to deceive or exploit people to make money, that they connect with their local mosque or their community. Because one of the most beautiful things in Islam is that if you get amana, if you get an entrustment, whether it is money, whether it is visibility, it is for you to share with others. Just like we pay zakat and we have to pay sadaqah. If you have knowledge, you share it. If you have money, you share it, you empower others. If you have visibility, you shed the light on the people who have never been given visibility and who deserve to be seen. One of the things that attracted me to Islam is that it's not a selfish, individualistic religion. People think that charity is giving away large sums of money to abroad, to Pakistan or the Middle East or whatever, which are important. But it is also a primary duty is to look first to those around us, because every single one of us certainly knows someone who is struggling financially, struggling with their mental health. And zakat doesn't have to be large sums of money to a charity. It can be helping directly someone you know personally who is in need of help. But this is another story for another time. I hope this video was useful, and again, take care of each other and yourselves.